early. I'm hoping that everybody can see me. I do show that I have some people here. I tried something a little bit new for me, a little bit different. I tried to do the schedule a live. Every live I've done so far, and I've not done a ton of them, I've just clicked the button and said go live now. The scheduling was kind of an interesting one because I did that, and then how do I get back to it? Oh, oh look, I'm on. So far, there we go. Let me turn that down. Yeah, so I did that, and that was a little cumbersome. I think I might have gone live for a couple of seconds to abandon it. I don't really know. You know, pushing buttons, that's just how that goes. So welcome aboard. It is a fantastic day. How is January treating all of you? It has just flown by. We're not even a full week into January, and it feels like a full week plus some. It's going to be even more so when I'm back in the office. I've enjoyed having a wonderful vacation and spending lots of quality time with hubby and doing lots of crafting, trying to pull some crafting out that has been lying. Do we remember this? If you've been around for a while, you might. This is the Harvest cardigan, and this is by Tin Can Knits. It is a free knit pattern. Wonderful. And this is some ice yarn. I even have the ball band for that one. This is some ice yarn that was, my camera's in a different spot. I don't know where it's at. That I was gifted, and I think it was one of the mystery yarn challenges that I did. And love it. Number 2 weight, it's a finer weight. I've used ice yarns obviously with this before, but I haven't purchased directly from them. Has anybody here purchased directly? Oh, thank you for the hearts. That's really sweet. Has anybody here purchased from Ice Yarns? And what was your experience? I don't know. Their website is amazing. Their shipping is high, but their prices are extremely low on their yarn. So if you do the dollar cost per ball, it does come out to where it's a nice saving. Let's see. Hi, Judy. How are you? Thank you so much. I know I can see on my phone that I have a comment, but it's like, oh, that's really tiny. I'm like, oh no, you know. But yeah, so I've not purchased it directly from the Ice website. I have purchased, hi Amy, I have purchased, hi Naked Sale, how are you guys doing? Thanks for joining me today at this short notice. I did try to get a little notice coming into the schedule. I'm playing with the stuff. Let's see, who's that? Hi Kathy, how are you doing? What I was referring to with this is a lot of people love ice yarns. I've worked with them times. I've specifically bought it on Amazon, you know, a couple skeins of sock yarn that I want. I love the colors, and I've used it when people have gifted it to me. I just haven't, as of yet, actually pushed the button and bought from Ice Yarns. You know, for me to make it worthwhile, the more you buy, that does put it down to the better dollar cost average, and you're going off of an unknown quantity. I mean, there are certain ones that you might have tried before and you're like, yes, I know, I love that. And what that is, you know, a lot of things will say premium acrylic. Well, how premium is that premium acrylic, right? Hi, Elaine, how are you doing? You know, and even though it says baby yarn, whose baby are we talking about? You know what I mean? So that's kind of an unknown, or at least in my world, it's more of that unknown. So I haven't done that. I've stuck to others that I definitely know, and you just don't know. They have a lot of wool content. I love wool anyway, so that works out really well. This one's a wool mohair acrylic, I think. Yeah, so lots of fun. And this is in one of my, not mystery, this is one of my UFOs that has just been languishing. I don't even know how long I'm working on this one. I really don't. Well, it's been less than a year because I did start it during the channel and everything during this 2024. I started it last year. I'm so cool. Let's see. Hi, Crafty Creations. Thank you. Me trying to do a live. This was me trying to schedule a live and get back into it. That's the issue. Crafting down, it's okay. Scheduling a live is easy. Okay, you push the buttons and it's scheduled. Cool. Then I went back onto my channel and it's like, would you like to join in? You can start chatting. No, I'm not. I would like to be part of it. I would like to be in it. And they're like, would you like to join? You know, hey, the live's going to start. Stick around. I'm like, but wait, not without me. I don't know how to get back in. And that was my issue. And that's part of the reason why I've not scheduled them. I can schedule them, but I couldn't figure out how to get back into it. And then you just have this blank live there. Oh, do we have somebody that's being a jerk? Okay. All right. Yeah, so yeah, feel free to play Whack-A-Troll. I'm good with that. Thank you. You know, they just come out sometimes. They just do. It's very bad. So I'm learning. This is a good year of doing a lot of things and learning and starting a bunch. I think I've started like 4 projects already, so I figured I should probably get onto one of these. I'm going to be doing the Tackle It this year. I'm going to still call it Tackle It Tuesday. I'm just not going to write it as that because the acronym's not necessarily what I want it to be, if that makes any sense. And it also gives opportunity for a lot of other content creators to do the same thing. Kind of a personal challenge for getting out there, looking at some of the things that we've started and maybe just better than us, and you start one thing and finish it all the way through. Yeah, that's not how my brain works. No. So I have a pile of things because I get it, and I think I can get through it super duper fast. And then I realize, Haiti, you're working with number 2 weight and you're making a full size cardigan, and you think you can get it done in 2 weeks with everything else you're working on. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. Let's see. I got some comments here. Let's see. Hi, Thrifty Crocheter. Oh, I don't know. Let's see. Jerk. Okay. Honest. Wow, that's interesting. It's been a crazy week with the trolls. Yeah, no kidding. Thank you, Thrifty Crocheter. I really do try. And hi, Rachel. I try to do a really good job with my stuff. And I'm going to count my ball bands from 2.5 gallon bag full of ball bands. That's insane. So I'm going to set up. I've got it preliminary started for 25 with the Excel spreadsheet, and I'll add extra columns. I used to have a really good one, but that's years ago. I don't know what to do with it, and it's just made. I know Laura from Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming. She's got a pretty good Excel spreadsheet that she comments on. I might kind of like tap her on the shoulder going, hey, can I have a copy of your headline, you know, your headers, and see if I can incorporate it in. But like everything, you know, the columns kind of expand, like, oh, I want to track this, and I'll add another column. I'll track that, and I'll add another column. I just watched her video today, and she told how many miles she went through, how many balls of yarn she went through, and it's impressive. It is absolutely impressive. I do know I did not get anywhere near that much on balls of yarn. I also know knitting takes a lot less yarn than crocheting. It just does. So you can make things and you're just not going through it. Or I use fine weight yarn with stuff. I mean, how many, just a minute, how many yards does this one ball have? Let's put it that way. Thank you for the hearts. That's really kind. How many yards does this have? Okay, this one ball is 500 meters, which is more than 540 yards, right? You know, or more than 540 for you. That's a lot. It's just that takes a while to go through. It does. Now, granted, if I was crocheting, it would be faster, and I've been doing a lot of crocheting this last week or so, and it's feeling it. So I got to back off a little bit, but that's okay. I'm playing with my yarn, and I'm doing things that I love, and that's what's important. And you can tell I'm excited because I got the auctioneer talking going on, and I haven't even been drinking coffee. Whoa. I think when I'm done with this, I'll drink some coffee. I just didn't trust myself in here with the coffee and the live without spilling it. I know, I'm like a child. That's why I use coffee cups with like a little sippy cup. Yes, I do. Let's see. Hi, Mel. How are you doing? Maybe they're not trolls. Maybe they're just bad. Okay. Never knew these 2 words could go together, but you're aggressively bland. Oh, that's nice. How about we not play with you? Oh, am I not logged in? Can we get rid of him? I don't know. Remove. Yes. I'm bland. Whatever. Okay. Hello, Rachel. Believe it or not, that's also my real name. All right. Hi, Marilyn. How are you doing? Nice to see all the Rachels in the chat. My daughter's name is Rachel also. Hi, Donna. How are you doing? Yeah, Donna, I'm really happy that you made live too. I gave a little bit of heads up on the morning's video that I was going to do one. I just didn't know exactly what time. In my head, I planned on 6 o'clock Mountain Time, but you know, closer to 6:30. At least I didn't schedule it. You know, I had to work on some things. I went out early. I met with some of my friends, had a nice lunch. We got to knit together and work on our projects. Okay, we didn't do a whole lot of knitting. We went through scrolling on Amazon, different things that were like, ooh, that'll be perfect to do for needle management, because we have these interchangeable needle sets and we don't like the cases that it came in. So we both went off on a tangent. So I'm like, what'd you get done knitting? Nothing. What'd you get done on Amazon? A lot. So there is that. I don't know. Let's see. Rachel's a wonderful name. Yes, Rachel is a wonderful name. I spell my daughter's name different, and it's Rachael, and that's because I was on drugs. Okay, when you're in the hospital and having a baby, they pump you full of drugs, and I blame it on the meds. I blame it on the meds and the pain pills and whatever. It wasn't pills, but whatever. I blame that. Truthfully, asked me for the spelling for the child's name and everything. I'm like, well, Michael is Michael, and I want her name to be Rachel, so wouldn't that be Rachael? And the nurses don't say anything to you. You can spell however you want to. They do not care. They just write down what you said. So, yeah, there you go. So that's why her name is spelled that way. She's like, thanks, Mom. Coincidentally, all of my children, all of their names have 7 letters to include mine. My husband is the oddball. That was not planned, but we all have 7. I know, that weird. Oh, weird coincidence. Quirks. Quirky things. And Melinda, you caught alive. Yes, you did. Melinda, where did you get your Addy Flip needles? What local yarn store did you go to? I'm really curious. I don't know. Yeah, we had a whole bunch of fun. Hi, Cakes, how are you doing? It's fun to get together in person when you can. We miss out on the community. I love this interaction. This is fantastic. But a lot of times, we forget how to talk to people in person. We forget how to do those types of things. Or, even we were part of it. We're together and enjoying each other's company. And then we went down this rabbit hole where we're both on our iPhones and we're looking, well, phones, whatever, generic, right? And we're looking for a case to put our knitting needles in, because she just got the peppermint twist, the Knit Picks peppermint twist needles, and those are the red and white stripe. They're really, really pretty needles, and they come with that clutch case, and they pay premium for that clutch case, and they are more expensive, as far as it goes, and they look beautiful. They're gorgeous, and I love the needles. But I've discussed that before because I have the Likey set, and it has that big, bulky clutch case. You have these little tiny needles that take up no space at all, and then you have this huge container to put them in. Well, when you've got your knitting bag or your crochet bag, you're filling with yarn and everything else. I don't want that. So we went down the rabbit hole with that. We were looking up, believe it or not, cigarette cases. I would have never thought. They may or may not, don't know yet, hold those little tips, in the cigarette case, and it's just this little tiny thin thing. Or for the IT geeks out there, the cable cord management cases, those little tiny things, just all sorts of smaller cases that we could put our needles in that would be a profile for us. So if she did order some. And I joked with her. I said, okay, so you're going to be the personal shopper and you're going to critique, and then I'll know which one to go ahead and buy. So I'll let you guys know what we came up with, because I thought it was kind of fun. We went down that rabbit hole. The last one we went down was this one. Let me show you this. I got to put this out of the way. The cases. This case right here. So just a small little case. And this one's been well used and abused. And it has that little, they call them an iron clip. And this is called a double lipstick container. And you were able to get these a while back, Amazon. They didn't cost a bunch. But now trying to find them is crazy hard. And I went down the rabbit hole trying to do that. I like these because, well, for one, this is the size knitting needles that we're talking. Right? This is the tip. Obviously, you still need your cords. But they fell out of my other case. They fit in here. I also fit in these, the little eyeglass scissors, right? Look at this. That's my little trap. So I have one of those in all the spaces where I'm going to be doing any knitting or crocheting. So you got the little scissors right there too. So I can put in every single place that I sit down to do my crafting. I have that as motions container. And we went down the rabbit hole one day looking for those. So she liked the one I had, and I'm like, yeah, good luck finding them. They used to be plentiful, and then I don't know. It was just, forget it. You weren't going to find them. You can find the single ones that are half as wide, but those don't hold the scissors. Gotta have scissors. So I found them, shared them with her, and then today we were down that same rabbit hole looking for cigarette cases of all things. I do not smoke. I've never smoked. And we were looking at other sorts of cable managements, pill boxes. That's another one that was a possibility to be able to use. And those pill boxes, by the way, great for stitch marker holders. So we were having a blast. We really were. Let's see. Yeah, Donna, I'll let you know what works. There's no doubt about that. I am very curious, and she should be getting those in a few days. We know how Amazon is, and I know she'll be able to tell me. It's like, ooh, this was good, this one wasn't, you know, and we'll figure that out. But it's a lot of fun. I do know I've got these all over my house. You know, some of the I told you I got a new couch. And we've got that in the basement, and we're all kinds of fancy because I did not know that you could get a couch that has it's like an heater. Yeah, like I don't know the word I'm trying to think of, but it's heated and massage. It's not like the best massage, but whatever. It has some movement to it, right? So in this couch, like a heating pad, built-in heating pad, that's what I was thinking of. So it's got that, but then the armchairs of it, they flip up. You can put junk and what have you in it. Well, I have one of these in here. I put my, since everything now has chargers on it, so I've got the charging cable there. I've got this there. So I've got my, in the chair, I've got my whole station. Hi, Landa, how are you doing? But I've got the whole station down there. And in the arm of the chair that flips up like this, I can have a sock product in there at all times. You know, kind of like travel knitting, but not. It's like in the theater stadium seating. And it's like, oh, I feel all kinds of. I do. I feel kind of special as far as that goes. I was telling my sister about our new couch because I've never seen or heard of one that had in like massage thing, except for those huge pod chairs that take up what seems like the whole room for just the one chair, and they're like $3,000 or something or whatever, you know, crazy. I'd love to have one, but where would you put it? And then that money, right? You know, if money were no object. But, you know, so I was telling her about that, and she's like, oh, yeah, Rennie's had one of those for, and she was telling me how many decades or whatever, that heated lazy boy. I'm like, oh, that's a thing? I had no idea. No idea. So I'm feeling fancy. I am feeling all kinds of fancy, and it's like my built-in knitting bag, crochet bag, because I can, in that spot, I can have a set of crochet needles, I can have the knitting needles, like all of that stuff at my fingertips in every spot. So that's awesome. I'm thrilled. So, hi Tammy, how are you doing? Everyone's saying hi in the chat, and it sounds like everyone's doing well, and I'm doing the speed talking as usual. It's just, I don't know what it is. Do you guys feel kind of like a, for this year, New Year, that we've been into for what? Today's the 5th. Today's 4 days. We've been in New Year's for 4 days. It feels like a week or two. It does. It feels like so much longer. But I just feel like a weight has been lifted. And I didn't know that there was a weight on me, if that makes any sense. I mean, there was nothing on as far as that goes. Hey, thanks for whacking the trolls. I appreciate it, guys. That's helpful. Let's see. So, yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. But I do. I feel like, I feel lighter. You know, and I'm not talking about my weight because, you know, hello, yeah. So I'm not talking about that, but I'm saying I just feel lighter. I feel upbeat. I feel energetic. And, you know, I'm not really sure 100% why, but I'm going to go with it. I'm jumping on board with the sock knitting. I'm picking up older projects. I am, oh yeah, the member, I am doing member stuff and everything. So I've got members things planned, more things along that line, and going to jump on that as far as that's concerned. Let's see. All right. Well, thank you, Nightbot, for dealing with that. Got the dressed circle. I am lagging. Oh, the dreaded. Oh, Donna, I'm sorry you're lagging on the video. That bites. But yeah, tell me how you guys are handling everything so far for 2025. And so far, I've been pretty good at saying 2025. I know it's been 4 days, but I've been pretty good at saying that and realizing that it is 2025. Yes, Landa, thank you so much for becoming a member. I did see that, and I greatly, and that's what prompted me. I saw your name come. Oh, wait, we got members. That's right. And I did put up a video earlier of what I'm planning on doing. So I did order some stuff so members got to see or hear what my plans are when they come in. Yeah, so that's something else that I'm just jumping on board with. I'll be getting a P.O. box really soon. This is something that I've talked to my husband about for a while. I've had my channel for 1.5 years, and it's about time I filled out some paperwork, right? I mean, that's really it. That's not that hard. Fill out the paperwork. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Do not like paperwork, but that's okay. I can do that. So, you know, taking things as far as that goes, I'm jumping on board, and if you want to say it, being more active with my channel, which is interesting because I already video daily. So yeah, that's the thing that I find funny. For me personally, you have a lot of content creators and they'll talk about, oh, Vlogmas going on, and we've got something else, and oh my goodness, you know, blogging daily or talking daily, you know, that's very difficult. And I'm over here going, I do that. I do that. Hi, I'm Shannon. I do that. I'm here daily and I talk to everybody. So you know, but I plan on being more present, as in present, if that makes any sense. I don't know. Maybe you understand what I'm trying to say, even though the words aren't really right there. So let's see. Hi, Lynn. How are you guys? Yes, I was on Hooker versus Hooker, and I had to wait for that to be over and give everyone a chance to get something to eat, right, for a few minutes at least, and then hop on because, hey, you know, I mean, it's a lot of time playing here, right? It really is. Hi, Cherry. How are you doing? And Oddballs, hello. Okay, I can't see or hear anything. I've got the ugly spinning circle like, oh, Donna, that's terrible. I'm so sorry. I don't know. Is everyone else having issues, or is it just Donna that's having problems? Let's see. I'm shopping for my yarn stash 2025. I have 13 totes and 2 bookcases full of yarn I need to use. I plan on not buying yarn until I use it all up. You know, I've had different plans like that, but I also know me, that's not going to be the case. And I also know that I've already placed an order for 2025, and I haven't even gotten in the order where my husband placed for Arcane Fiberworks. So I just know that that's not something that I am going to stick with. I don't say anyone else has to follow that or go along that line, but that's just something that, you know, I'm not going to be able to stick with. So that's just me. Let's see. Sherry's here. Oh, okay, so I am being seen. That's good. I like being seen. Yeah. MDL, how are you doing? He's doing a great job with all the Tunisian crochet. If you want to know anything about Tunisian crochet, follow MDL Crochet and follow Ben from Nina's Knots and Crochet. Both do Tunisian. Linan a series on Tuesdays, and MDL, that's his thing, and I think that's fantastic. So just, you know, if you're not familiar with either one, definitely. I don't have Nightbot set up, so I don't think it helps if you try to hit drop or anything. That's paperwork. It's not paperwork, but that's paperwork. So there is that. Jennifer saying no issues with her stuff. Let's see. Okay, a smalling, but nothing in thoughts. Okay. Well, let's see. How do we get rid of these people that are being jerks? All right, there we go. Remove that one. A drop spindle and fiber today. I have any spinning. I'm not against it, and I think it's gorgeous. We already know that playing with fiber and loving all of that stuff is definitely there. It's just another hobby in the space here. It's kind of like the sewing. I have some fabric, and it definitely calls me, but space constraints, it's like, no more, no more. I commend everybody that does it, though. I mean, I think that is fantastic. Well, it's okay if you... Okay, I don't know. I got to drop some. Let's see. Amy, I don't know. But hi, Amy. How are you doing? Welcome aboard. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to have to get a moderator or something like that. I don't have one yet, but I think I'm going to need one. Landa, yeah, Tunisian is, I did try working with that, and I got Skein Plus into it, and I'm doing a lot more knitting and crocheting, so there you go. There's nothing that it didn't grab me, and I have done some stuff with Tunisian, just not a lot, so there is that. Hi, Elaine, how are you doing? Oh. Elaine, I already lost that one. Elaine says she tries to start the first of the year by not buying it and seeing how long she can last. I already broke that. It's day 4, and I already broke that, so that's not happening. Okay, how do I make you a mod, Nina? How do I do that? Help me out. How do I do that? Okay, let's see. Oh, I think I know. Do I have to go in here? Oh, it's on that thing. It's on my phone. I will make you a mod, and that way if you come on any of the other lives, you can definitely jump on and help. I will do that. That would be cool. Otherwise, I don't know how to jump off of here to get like that. Let's see. Okay, so I made the stuff behind me, all of the things, I made some of them. I did not make all of them. Let's see. This one here, This one is made by Elaine from Penguin O Crafts, or Elaine O, Penguin Place Crafts. She made this one absolutely adorable, and she's got an Etsy page, and that's where I got that. So I made these little guys over here. You know, I'm always making something. I mean, my mom taught me that. She said, I don't have a problem with you sitting watching TV or doing anything like that, but you're going to have something in your hands. She's you know, idle hands are the devil's play shop, something along that line. So she's like, you will have something in your hands. So there's that. Let's see. Oh, you finished your Lumia wrap? I did not finish mine. I did not. It's in a bag. It probably won't get finished. That is one of those things. It's not going to get finished. That's one of those things that's yarn ready to be reclaimed. I don't call it a whip. It's just when I open the bag and go, oh, I'm going to pull it out and use it for something else. I got a good ways for it. I like the way it feels, but my husband didn't like it. And that really kind of drained all the energy out because I really like him, you know, and he has it. He influences me a lot. That's how that goes. Okay. Let's see. Okay, hi, putting time on. Ooh, thank you. Can review and remove chats. Hide, can manage blocked words. Okay. Linan, thank you. Thank you for the help. All right, you are now listed as a moderator. Cool. I appreciate the assistance. There you go. And Donald sounds like she's back on. Okay. I was just going through to say your robot was missing. Oh no, the robot's not missing. It's just that when I went to go live, it said you have to go up and down as opposed to like this. He's right there, just out of shot. But I had to show him. I mean, that's all there is to it. And the Totoro, you know, comments on that, and it was a friend of mine that wanted me to make it. And it's like everybody knows the name Totoro except for me. I'm like, I don't know, it's just that guy. It's that guy that I made. I don't know why, but there he is. There he is. So I guess I'm a little out of things. Like, alrighty. Yep. And thank you, Ann. Appreciate it. She's going to whack the trolls for me, so that's pretty helpful. So, Christy, I have gotten a couple of emails, and I have in a whole stack. I've got a lot of stuff that I have to send out. I have been lacking. That is one of the other things for the, as I call it, the new year project, along with getting a P.O. box, sending out all the things that I said I was going to send, a stack of things. And what that is to, for everyone that's here, for all the people that have been members of my channel, and it didn't matter how long, you're a member of my channel, send me your address and everything, and this is the next couple of days because I got some mail, and I'm trying to send something to everybody. It's a late Christmas present at this point. It's a welcome to the new year kind of a situation. I had an abundance of hats that I was working on and thought, you know, I'm going to share it with the people that have really supported me, and that was just one way that I thought of doing that. So now I've gotten those. I've just not been on the ball with certain things. I'm trying. Let's see. Oh, Layla's over here next to the robot. Here's Layla. This Layla the love bug. And, you know, my husband keeps, if you ever see in the chat and everything in the responses going, hey, finish Layla, that's my husband. That's my husband. I don't know why he wants me to finish her so bad, except he just likes to pull my chain. Layla has been ahead for 10 years, literally 10 years. I do have the pattern. And I did find the yarn in a bag. I don't know if I have enough of it, but I have it in a bag. This is Red Heart. And it's not like I can get that color again. You know, it's been 10 years. But I do have that, and that is K4TT Fiber Doodles on Ravelry. And you will buy the pattern. It is a paid-for pattern. I didn't make that up. It's a paid-for pattern. But he continues to talk about that because she just sits over my shoulder, and she's been there for a decade. But, you know, if I finish her, you see how big she is. She's not going to fit in there, right? If I put her body on there, her antennas are going to be like out front. So there is that. But maybe one day, maybe not. Maybe not. It could happen. I mean, it could. I mean, she's been really for a decade. I mean, really, I don't have to do much more to her. She's fine. She's fine. Yeah, Landa, thank you so much. I appreciate that, and I will definitely send that out. And the other thing, too, is I am using Pirate Ship, so you'll know when I send it because you'll get an email because, obviously, you emailed me your address. So, yeah, I greatly appreciate that. Yeah, so let's see. You're an artist with your work. Yep, and the Toro. Let's see. I'm winding ends on a wrap I finished a month ago. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I have ends to weave in. I have a lot of ends to weave in. I have, like, It's my husband's sock. Look at that. Look at all those ends. Look at that. See, he's got his toe socks. Yeah. So I've got to weave in the ends. I don't want to wait till like I did this year, and it was just a few days before Christmas. I did the ends on all of them, and then I did a lot of heel toe cuff combinations that made it 8 ends per sock. And you know, I finished 9 pair this year. That's number 10 that I started in 2024. I finished it in 2020, but I don't want to push everything off and get stuck in that position. So that is one of my other chores, is to start weaving in ends. I guess I shouldn't call it a chore. I think when you call it a chore, then the mindset is negative. It just is what it is. Oh my goodness, Lori, I can see you. How come I can see you? What? How come you can't see me on the channels, but I can actually see you? This is Lori, the Armchair Chef. Yep, that is crazy. And the YouTube bots, they're gaslighting me with trying to get that fixed with being blocked. Maybe you can put in the ticket. Let's see. The bodiless Layla. Yep. I like Layla the way she is, and her eyes are really cool. That was the coolest thing, is one and this were the patterns by the same designer, and this one has little hearts in the eyeballs. That's little hearts. And then you have the let me set this down so I can. So you've got the little hearts in the eyeballs, and that one I thought was pretty cool. So that was the first time that I did something like that. And then the pipe cleaner in the tail with the heart on it, and then it has the little defined butt crack, and I just thought it was the cutest thing. I mean, come on, this is a little humor. It's like, I made this one before I made Layla, so this one finished. There you go. But it's a little details, and it's interesting to have some things like that around, because I've gotten better. I mean, I like that. But I mean, I've gotten better on doing things. And then following this was one of the first ones with, okay, robot's down again, with the big eyes like that, and then doing the embroidery kind of. I was so impressed, because we're all in different spots with our learning and making something that's fun and unique and looks like the pattern. And, you know, sometimes the putting together is the hardest, because you can do all the individual pieces and be, okay, she's not going to stay now. That's because the robot fell. All right. You can do all the individual pieces and they look fantastic, but it's the executing and putting them together. I like to say they have character. That means they're crooked, by the way. That means, and that's how that is. That's, you know, so it's interesting to see these things throughout the years and going, oh, look, they're quirky, but they look more like the picture. They look more like what I want them to look like. So yeah, Lori, it's crazy, because I know when I'm on your lives, you can't see me. Everybody has to retype what I've stated. So maybe it's you that gets to block, or gets to contact YouTube and say, hey, please don't block her. I don't know. That's crazy. So you inspired me to pick up my knitting needles for the first time since I was a kid, on my 4th hat already. Jerry, that is amazing. I've heard that a lot. A lot of people have been very inspired to pick up knitting. It's just another way to express yourself with the fiber. If you're happy and comfortable and you like what you're getting with crochet, crochet. If you're happy and comfortable and you want to do Tunisian, do Tunisian, do weaving, do knitting, do macrame. I mean, there was a lot of macrame going on last year. It doesn't matter. The whole thing is the joy of creating and creating community with one another. And I'm just having such a good time learning different things. I was surprised at how many firsts I had last year. And this year I've already started off with the first with starting to make mosaic socks. Oh my goodness, that's pretty cool. So doing the different things like that, I'm just totally thrilled. Create and Relate says, Happy New Year, everybody. Amanda says, watching you make all of the alien hats made me learn how to knit. I've done it by watching YouTube, but I love it. You know, that's the wonderful thing about YouTube, is there are so many outlets to learn how to do things if you're curious. That's all there's to it. If you're curious and you want to play, there are resources from beginner all the way to majorly advanced. And when I was learning how to knit, we didn't have that. I learned how to knit from a book. I had a friend teach me a little bit, you know, older grandmother here, and then I learned the rest of it out of a book. And since I learned how to crochet first, I do the continental style, so hold the yarn the same way that I do for knitting, or same way that I do for crocheting, and I twisted every stitch. I realized, so I mean, I was knitting in the back of the loop. You know, every stitch was twisted, And I did it like that for years until a more experienced knitter asked me the question, do you always twist your stitches? And being that I had no idea what she was talking about, and that's how I always knit, I'm like, yes, I do. Now, what does that mean? And she explained to me, and it's a different way of doing my purl. And I'm like, oh heck no, but that's not the word I used. You know, it was cumbersome. It really was. And now I wouldn't go back. I would not go back. And you know, if you twist your stitches, there's nothing wrong with that. Just understand what it's doing, and if that's the look that you're going for, that's perfect. It did make a huge difference when I tried to felt things because the felting craze was really going on. And when you twist your stitches, your felting's not going to be the same. It really isn't. And I had no idea why my stuff was not turning out properly or the way that I had expected. And it's because of the way I was knitting. I just didn't know, and I didn't have anyone around to tell me. But YouTube is amazing. You find all sorts of answers, or things like this. And during the lives, you can ask questions going, hey, how do you do this? What do you do with that? What's going on? And people will help you, right? Whether it's the person that you're on the live with or somebody else in the chat, they'll help you. And that is just wonderful for the entire community. And how many people saw my daughter get on the videos with me? Speaking of helping somebody and bringing up the next generation, how many people saw that? I mean, that isn't she cute? I'm Elias. That's my little girl. Let's see. What do we have here? Watching, hello. Hi, Hobby. How are you doing? Let's see. Where are we at? Okay. I admire the amigurumi, but I've tried to make them, but decided I have no ambition to make them, and I'm perfectly okay with that. There is nothing wrong with that. I find me with the amigurumi, I get excited. I have a lot of amigurumi books, and for somebody who puts them and doesn't necessarily go back and finish it, you would wonder why I keep on them, because they're cute. But if I don't muscle through it, a lot of times it's going to be a head or a bag of parts or something like that. It's not your thing, then find something that is. Don't force yourself to work with something that's not giving you joy. You know, you've got your yarn. You can do it any way you want. That's how that goes. My cousin's a big fan. I've been crocheting for over 35 years. I decided to teach crocheting to others. I created a YouTube channel, but I give up now because I couldn't get enough views in the last 5 years. Oh, I'm sorry about that. You know, I was watching, let's see, not at the point of making mosaic. I was watching Crystal from Bag a Day Crochet a few years ago. I think I've been watching her for well over about 5-6 years. And it's when I first started watching YouTube. And just about everybody knows who Crystal from Bag a Day Crochet is that watch a lot of YouTube yarn and knitting, or not knitting, but crochet content and yarn channels. So she was the first real YouTube channel that I followed. And this was years before I ever thought about putting up my own channel or anything. And the piece of advice that she gave was consistency. She commented that her channel name is Bag a Day because she was crocheting at that point a bag a day. And she was putting up video content every day. And she said people weren't watching. They just weren't. And she got better, and she continued to put out the content, and she's had a channel for 10 years, and she's got over 1 million subscribers. So it was that key to consistency. So I knew for me personally, and this is just personal, is that I had that voice in the back of my head, and I knew when I made my first video, I was going to be consistent. And that's really it. But that was the advice that she gave like 6+ years ago. The first time was the consistency is what does it. And I think that's true. It is, because I know I got sick a couple times, and you miss a day, YouTube hates you. YouTube will just put you down at the bottom of everyone's list, and people do not know your name anymore. So the algorithms are definitely against you. So that consistency is huge. Let's see. Yeah, so with my daughter, I'm going to bring her back on as much as I possibly can. She had a lot of fun. Last time I saw her with her scarf, it was the day after we did the video. She had come over and everything. We were watching the kids, and she said, "Look, Mom, look what I did." And I thought she was going to show me some of the photography that she does, because she is a photographer, and show me some of the shots she had. No, she had her knitting. She had her knitting, and the scarf at that point was half completed. I don't know where she's at right now. I asked her if she wanted to take another one, because she's working with this yarn here, if she wanted to take another one of the balls home with her, because she was gonna be done with that soon. And she said, no, I wouldn't know how to connect the next ball of yarn anyway. I'll wait until I come back. So not sure where she's at, but I know she was enjoying it. I know she was having a blast. And she has her own set of knitting needles, and I've got a set of knitting needles for her daughter, my granddaughter. so they can go ahead and continue working and practicing and playing with their stuff. And I think that's really a lot of fun, encouraging the next generation and the next generation for that matter to do crafting. And I'm really proud of my granddaughter. She has a perseverance that I had when I was her age. And I think that's pretty amazing. That's like, wow, that is really, definitely have to work on encouraging that one more. So, but I'll bring her on as much as I can get her to, when she comes over and visits. I'm like, hey, want to go do a video? And she's like, all right, let's go. So I think that's fun. Hi, Coral. How are you doing? Coral's one of the friends I was just hanging out with a little bit earlier. Batman said, I would like to set you up on a date with a friend of mine. His name is Bruce Wayne. Well, that's really nice, Batman, but my husband wouldn't be thrilled with that. We've been married for 33 years, and he kind of likes it when I stay exclusive to him. So we're gonna keep it that way. Nice offer, but put it that way. Appreciate it. Let's see. How do I stream on YouTube? I've not done it live, but hope to this year. That's what I was talking about at the beginning. I don't have a problem when you go down to the little plus bar, whatever, and you can have a choice between uploading a video or doing a short, and you can do the live. And I have no problems doing that. And I push that button, and then it'll kind of prompt you. Well, is it made for kids? No, I'm not doing anything gross, but I mean, that's different for YouTube algorithm things. And I had no problem setting it up to go live instantly. Where I had the issue was setting up the live and then getting back into it. Like, hey, I would like to do a live tomorrow. Well, how do I get back into it? I set it up and it's been announced to everybody. How do I get back into it as the person? That's what I was having problems with. I'm like, I made it. I made it. Is a little iffy. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little iffy right there. Yeah, I'm gonna get Rachel in. I'm telling you, it was a lot. And oh, you want to hear something else? So for my granddaughter, she's 9, and it's okay if mom puts her on screens or something or does whatever, but I don't want to do that, and I don't necessarily want her on the channel, showing her. But they've got the Mardi Gras masks and stuff, and we know Party City. It's unfortunate, but Party City is going out of business. So if you have one anywhere near you, now's the time to go pick your things up if you want them. So I was thinking one of those Mardi Gras masks for her. I think she'd have a blast with it, putting it on, saying, want to come on Nana's channel, and then she has her little mask, so she's in disguise. I thought she'd have a fun time with that, especially since they have all of them with the big of this, and they're all kinds of crazy, and the rhinestones and what have you. I mean, she's tiny, little face, little head, so maybe not a good idea. The mask might swallow her, but in my mind, it sounded really fun. And I think she'd get a kick out of showing her stuff. I really do. She's very proud of what she's done and accomplished, as she should be. She's done amazing. Let's see. Hi, Savannah. How are you doing? Let's see. Donna says probably dry skin. Yep. Okay, that's something else. Can I have a shout out to France? Levi Briggs. I don't know. Let's see. Okay. Donna says, help. When I'm knitting, I get holes by my heels of my socks. Can anyone tell me what I'm doing wrong? Donna, you're not really doing anything wrong if you're talking about what it is. You've got the smaller holes. A lot of us, it doesn't matter how experienced you are, you get that. So when you're finishing up and you're weaving in ends and stuff, you just take a sewing needle and thread or your yarn that you're using and just tack that down. That's really it. And there's been people who've been a lot more experienced at knitting, and that is the advice that they have given and that I have heard throughout the years. Don't beat yourself up over it. You've done nothing wrong. You really haven't. It's just the nature of the knitting. It really is. Let's say I'm working my second hexagon cardigan and using it as a lapgan because it's only 10 degrees. Nope. And hi from Canada. How are you doing? From Brunswick, Canada. And people saying hello. Hi all, glad I caught your live. Me too. You're reaching people all over the world. Yeah, I am reaching people all over the world. That is the fun part, is seeing people from everywhere. And this is another reason why with my granddaughter putting a mask on, that type of a thing, because I'm biased. I think she's absolutely adorable. She's my granddaughter, right? And if you have children and grandchildren, you should feel the same about them. So want to just keep the little baby safe. That's all. Fun times, fun times. And let's see, what have I, well, actually I do my tomorrow's video shows. No, tomorrow's Sunday. Today's Saturday. Wow, today's Saturday. But Monday I'll show all the things that I've worked on so far this week. And like I said, I did finish my husband's socks, his toe socks. That's my first project of the year. I tried to get them done by the end of the year, so I could definitely say I had 10 pair done last year, but I didn't. It was my first project of the new year. Yeah, and I got those done just a couple days ago. Just have to weave in all the ends. So I'll be showing all of that fun stuff and everything. Let's see. No one should blame you for keeping the little ones. No, no, I was just trying to figure out a way. Nobody's blaming. I'm just trying to figure out a way to have her join in. She wants to feel special too. I know her mom was, it's interesting because like I said, she's a photographer, and being in the front of the camera, she's like, oh, this is weird, Mom. I know. But she's watched me do this for the last year and a half. I mean, none of the family well, my husband does. My husband watches every video. But the rest of the family, they may or may not turn on the stuff. So they have no idea. So I can talk about them all I want to. Except more towards the beginning of when I started putting out my channel, there's a live I did. And I was talking about last year how we weren't going to have socks for Christmas, because that's the thing that the kids look forward to the most. My husband and my kids look forward to the most is the hand knit sock. And I said, you know, I'm doing the YouTube channel, and I'm videoing every day, and I have a full-time job, and I'm trying to make all sorts of fun and exciting things. I'm just not going to get all the socks done. And my son was out walking the dogs. He walks, doesn't matter what the picture is, and he's out walking the dog, and he had the live on, just listening to it, whatever. And he called me, and he said, Mom, oh no, you are going to make the socks. There will be, you know, chaos and pandemonium, and all heck will break loose. Word used. All heck will break loose. You have got to make the socks. He called me out hardcore. I'm like, what? You actually listened to the video and heard me saying this? Yeah, I heard it. No, there will be socks. Do you understand? Yes, I understand. I will make socks. So it's pretty nice to have it to where they love them that much, they want them that much to be able to do that. I think that is just fabulous. That's just me. I just think that's wonderful. Yep. So, yeah. Oh, hi from Florida. Hi, Amy. How are you doing? Like, I would love for your daughter to help crafts on my videos. She's so creative like me, and I think it'd be fun. She is. And hi, Deborah. She's very creative. It's an interesting thing to sitting together on the video. I saw her differently than I see her when I see her, if that makes any sense. I noticed similarities in the way we look that I didn't really notice. I know that sounds weird. She's my daughter, but I get that. A bleached out version of me, which is crazy. You know, the hair color, she came out, all the children were blonde. She was a platinum blonde for the longest time. I think about 7 or 8 before she started to get some brown in her hair. But came out that bleach blonde kind of a thing, you know, the blue eyes, and you know, it's like all the color. She's the last baby, so all the color was just gone, right? She had no color. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And then her gravitating towards the neutrals and the creams and things. I noticed that our laughs are similar that I hadn't caught on before. Our facial structure, there's some similarities that, I mean, yeah, you can definitely tell I'm Mom and my husband's dad. There's no doubt when you look at all three of our kids, right? You know, you can definitely tell who Mom and Dad are, and they're all related. And she kind of hated it when she was growing up. Not hating that we're her parents, but hated it because when she was growing up. Not hating that we're her parents, but hated it because she's the baby, and her brothers went to the school and everything before her, and they would see her and say, "Oh, you're Stefan's name." Her name was Stefan's sister, and she hated that because they didn't know her, but they knew her just by the looks. It's like, yeah, you are definitely that person's sibling. There's no doubt you guys are related. So yeah, the genes run strong between us. And then throughout the years, they kind of favor different people with the family. There's sometimes where I really look at the kids and like, yeah, you're definitely your dad, and other times they're definitely me. So it's an interesting thing to see that, and seeing her playing on the TV, because, you know, we got the TVs too, right? Playing the YouTube channel on TV, and seeing her in such a big format sitting next to me. I just didn't realize that there were some similarities like that. I just, wow. I'm like, oh, that's my baby. That's my baby. Look at that. That's my little girl. See? Yeah. So it was good for me to see that too. And I'm looking forward to having her come over again and to do another video. That shocked me in such a good way with getting that Michael's grab bag. It was so worth the money. It was so worth everything. I mean, she left me this. She left me the flowers. She said, Mom, you get the colorful flowers. I got the colorful flowers, and I got, where'd the mushroom go? Oh, here it is. And I got this. those are the things that I got out of the grab bag. The rest of it, thankfully, she took. I mean, I don't need it. I'm not going to decorate with it. Now, the candle was really cool. The candle was just a white wax candle, but it was stockinette stitch. It was knit all the way around, which was fun. But we don't really decorate with candles, and she does. So I'm like, please take it with you. You'll actually use it. I think it's cool, but you'll use it. So by all means, go and use it. That was fun. Let's see. YouTube is tough. So much to being a creator. It's hard work, but rewarding when you hit goals, etc. Well, I mean, that's true. That really is. I think that's with anything that we do. You know, when you look at your crocheting, if you crochet, you look at that and you look at your beginning projects, and then you look at something 5, 6, 7 months down the line, and then a couple years down the line, you've improved and you've gotten better. It's the same with the knitting, the weaving. Yeah, I haven't shown any weaving because I haven't done it in years. But it's the same with anything. It takes work. Even handwriting. You know, first time we started to write a letter or anything, it took a while before we got those A's right. But it's worth it. It's worth it. And then you get to go back and you get to see how much did I improve? How much did I get better? You're better with technique. You're more comfortable with trying things that you never thought you would be comfortable with before. If you are able to do all the different mediums, then you can add to it. So if you like to do weaving, I do have friends that do weaving, hand weaving, you can weave something and then you can do fancy crochet edging around it. You know, so you're adding both to it. You've got both projects and crafts. It just adds to your whole creative repertoire. That's all that is. So, you know, it just takes a little bit of time. And yeah, Christy, I think you were the one that might have commented on that with the laughs being similar, and I hadn't really noticed that before. And it's funny because I commented to my husband because, you know, I'll read all the comments to him, but I do read some of them, and I'd made mention to that. I'm like, yeah, they commented that Rachel and I had this very laugh, and he's like, no, you don't. And I'm like, I didn't think so either. But hearing it on the video, I'm like, oh, there is a similarity there, and my husband didn't notice it either. Neither one of us noticed, but we heard it in another, well, I heard it in another format. And I'm like, you're right. There is a similarity. I never knew that. I just didn't. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm pretty partial to her. She's absolutely lovely. She is. You could sell a Cybertruck to my grandma and take her for a ride. Okay, wow, that's interesting. Let's see, oddballs. My daughter gets annoyed when we go out together. People think we're sisters. Yeah, there is that. I don't know. The one that got the most annoyed with us going out was my daughter-in-law, the one that's pregnant right now, absolutely adorable. When she had her first child, oh my gosh, I mean, we're just smitten. I mean, they're just amazing. Now, that little girl looked like the spitting image of me when she was first born. Blonde hair, like I said, they all have blonde hair. Well, she's got a dark hair baby, but blonde hair. And just looked like facial features. There was no doubt that I was in the lineage at all. So I remember we were doing Christmas shopping together, and people would refer to me as the mom and thought the mom was the nanny. The mom is not the nanny. She was not thrilled with that, and I don't blame her because, come on now, she just did all of this hard work. She grew this perfect human being in her body, and, you know, she had this beautiful, absolutely amazing child, and people like, oh, you're the mom? And she's like, no, I'm the mom. I am the mom, right? You know, so I thought that was kind of funny. It's just, whose genes is it? Now, that particular one, she looked very much like me. Their first son is her. Oh my gosh, the dark hair, the dark eyes. He's got more of an olive skin. He's just absolutely stunning. You know, and that's definitely more her. You know, like, wow. We've got a child in the family that's not like Day-Glo White, you know? It's like, oh, okay. But he's gorgeous. He's absolutely gorgeous. It's just how the genes play. You know, you're just throwing them all in a bag and mix them up going, well, we're going to take this one, we're going to take this one, we're going to take this one. But yeah, I get that with the looking like siblings or looking like whatever. She was not a fan. I don't blame her. She was not a fan. Poor thing. Yeah. See, she is absolutely lovely. It's like, will I do a beginner knittings video? Really interested in learning to knit. Made the garter scarf. And I learned basic raglan stitch from Ashley Lilies. She's an amazing beginner video. Yeah, I want to do some videos. And I know that if you go back on the December 28th video, I do know that there were a lot of links that I put in. There were a lot of people in the comment section that threw out who their favorite people were for teaching knitting, teaching beginning knit socks, or crochet socks for that matter. Any of those things, I linked all of those in that description that description box. And I know I'm going to direct my daughter to that one too when I'm not right there with her. It's like, hey, here's some things that other people use that they found helpful. And I thought that was a great resource to kind of throw out there. And I would like to do some more of the beginning videos. I'm just, excuses, I guess, caught up with full-time job and doing these videos and still having fun doing all the creating and stuff. And then my mind goes wild. I mean, it just absolutely goes wild. But I think some slowed down videos. Oh, that's the other thing. In the description box, when I talked about that, that was the video on the 28th of December. It stuck to my head. There were some other content creators that have some gorgeous, very slow, very detailed beginner knit videos. And one of them is right hand knitting and left hand. So I thought that was pretty amazing. So you got that, or crochet, right hand for crochet. But I thought that was really nice to have that. Yeah, that's the socks that I'm making. They have a right hand version, a left hand version. So just some fun stuff for that reasons. Let's see. Please, oh yeah, Jennifer, thank you for reminding everyone. Please do the thumbs up. Yeah, I should probably do that. Look, I just thumbed up my own video. Yeah, hi, I recommend. I recommend. That sounds absolutely wonderful. We should do this. We should have a conversation. We should talk. There we go. Definitely recommend. But it's fun stuff. So what's everyone working on? Do you guys have plans for the new year or what you're going to be doing? Is it just me that's like in this spin? Because I know a lot of content creators have more plans, more exciting things that they have going, and they've been tossing those out there. One of the things that seems to be kind of consistent is similar to what I'm talking about with the Tackle It Tuesday of looking at things that we have in the past and doing something with it. Make a decision about it, doing something with it, kind of cleaning our house, so to speak. And that is a lot more daunting than I thought it was going to be. It really is. Just kind of laying bare to everybody how much is really tucked away and really showing that. And it's kind of almost a vulnerable state of, okay, the day that I had one of these cubicles, right? And I pulled out the cubicle and I'm like, hey, here's some old projects. That was a bit more difficult than I thought it would be. That's a good way to put it. So I'm curious how everyone else is handling all of this stuff. Let's see. Donna wants to make socks again and finish the purple monster. Donna, I am just so impressed. You keep updating me on that, and I am so absolutely impressed. The largest knit blanket that I made is for my husband that I did 2024. And I've crocheted things with bedspread thread. I know that twin size blanket with crocheted bedspread thread before. But I've not done that king, queen, those super large. That is such perseverance. I mean, bless you. That is absolutely amazing. Anybody that does that and takes all the pieces and makes these large things, I mean, that's hands down. You guys have it going on. You have it going on. That's amazing. Hi, Lori. How are you doing? It's like working on, you've got a baby and 2 more to do after that. After the Tackle It Tuesday, we'll be organizing your yarn. Haven't started yet. Yeah, I know Erin from Crafting Kitty is working on organizing her yarn. And I find it kind of interesting. I was going to say humorous, but that's not a good way to put it either. I believe, I don't know for a fact, but I believe when she's shown her stuff, her squares, right? She's got these are like IKEA Billy bookshelves, right? So they're just these, big squares, right? And then she'll pull out going, okay, here we go. I'm pulling out all the yarn that I have in this one square and we're going to make a decision on it. And I get the concept. And I'm like, Erin, how do I get like 3 to 4 times the amount of yarn in my one square than you do? Man, I pack it. It's double layered. I mean, these are double layered. I put, and I'm like, how? Do you not have anything on the back of yours? I pull out just one square and I'm like, there's a year's worth of yarn there, depending on what it is. I'm like, I don't, bless you, because I don't want to do that. I don't want to admit what's in each one of these squares. Oh, no, I know what's in them. But, whew, yeah, something should stay a secret. That's me. Ooh, knitting your first sweater. What pattern are you using? I keep recommending to people if it's a first sweater and you don't know where to go, Tin Can Knit has great beginner friendly. I mean, they're great for professional quality, right? But beginner friendly and very, very size inclusive, from baby toddler all the way up to multi-X. So you can get one for everybody in your entire family. Flax is one that I've used as a great template. And the cardigan that I like is, where did I just set it? It's around here, whatever. But the cardigan is the Harvest cardigan. Both of those are by Tin Can Knits, and they're both free, and they're fantastic. First time I want to make the thing. They're great. They're well written, and they really go through a lot of detailed description. And I think she might even have some videos. I don't know. I haven't watched them, but I think there might be videos. Don't 100% know that though. Let's see. And Oddball started to crochet a shawl by Novella Yaga. And Jessica's finishing her whips right now, finishing Crochet Granny Square Christmas stockings. Yeah, I did the Christmas stockings last year. I did not do them this year. Trying to figure out what to do now, just can't decide. Bobby, I get that. So that's my issue. Sometimes I get into that paralysis issue where I want to make something and I'm just stuck. And I've decided that this year, that when I feel like I'm stuck, grab a pair of socks until I figure out what I want to do. You know what I mean? Grab either a pair of socks, sweater, or grab something like that that's repetitive, around and around and around, right? Something like that, or granny squares, right? Because those are pretty easy. Yeah, it's putting them together that gets people, and that's not hard, but it's just all the ends. But something along that line, I've decided in my mind, it's don't just sit there and try to figure it out. Grab a sock. I know I got to do at least 10 pair a year anyway. And this year, because I've already started, the pink and green mosaic ones, I'm going to give it to my daughter-in-law, the one that's pregnant right now. I'm going to give her those when they're done. I'm not going to wait until Christmas. I'll have to still do stuff for Christmas. And then hubby's socks, these are the ones that he picked out for his Christmas socks. So these, as soon as I get the ends woven in, he's taking those. I mean, that's the only advice that I can give on that, just kind of get out of that blahs kind of a situation of, nope, we're working on this until you figure it out. There you go. Just stop. And then I've tried, unsuccessfully, but to limit my scrolling, again, unsuccessfully. But if I hear that little voice in the back of my head, it's like, turn it off, because it doesn't make me feel good anyway, and I don't get things done when I'm doing that. And I'd rather get things done. I'd rather have something to show for the time that I'm doing, the time that I'm working with. That's just me. Let's see. Oh, knit and crochet and all things yarn. Okay. Thank you, Nina. Appreciate that. I still have to do Chef Lori's hat this week. Yeah, Classroom Lori was talking about that too, with Armchair Chef Lori's hat and everything. I guess there's quite a few people jumping on board and making that. That sounds wonderful. Always hats. Yes, Rose, you are always making hats. Rose, I think your collection of Arcane Fiberworks is bigger than mine too, and she's going through hers a lot faster. There's no doubt. She's amazing. And Sherry says, bye everyone. See you all around tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining. I greatly appreciate you being here. And it's the skinny yarn that fits so much. Yeah, see, that's it. Lori, you're right. It's for me, I've got the fingering weight yarn, and that you can pack. It's kind of like Jello. There's always room for Jello. Do you remember that commercial? You can pack a lot of fingering weight in there, which is probably one of the reasons why I'm not crazy about the bulky. Well, besides working with it is kind of weird on my hands, you know, holding the larger tools. But working with the smaller yarns, you can fit a ton. I mean, I can easily come in and it's like, I didn't get any yarn, and I can stick, even in these full cubes, I can still stick 100 grams or 200 grams of fingering weight yarn. And, you know, 100 gram ball is this. That can make a full pair of socks, an adult full pair of socks. And then you've got the hanks. I mean, come on, we can squish that in there. Same thing, 100 grams, right? Ooh, that's pretty. Look at that. I don't have a color palette. No, what are you talking about? There's no color palette here, not at all. Yeah, there is that. There is that. Yes. So let's see, kitchen trivets and hats from Armchair Chef, quick and easy list, and making continuous granny square afghan for my scrap yarn. Linda, you are busy. There's a lot of stuff. And I like the fact that Armchair Chef Lori has made that playlist of things that she has found to be easy, quick, because sometimes you need the instant gratification. And I like that. I like doing hats in between or while I'm doing larger projects, because I just want to have something done sometimes. I like my larger projects like this, but if I had to wait for this cardigan to be before starting something else, I'd probably get grumpy. Yeah, and then, you know, yeah, I'd get grumpy. We'll just leave it at that. I'd get grumpy. That's true. Um, I'm wondering if I should start with something easier. I've been knitting for 4 years. So, Amy, the ranunculus, I have not made that, but that has been made by literally thousands of people on Ravelry, thousands and thousands. So I'm pretty sure there'd be great support on that particular pattern. If you had any issues with it, that is just, that one took off. That went viral, viral. So that one right there, you would have a lot of support on that. Yeah, the plan with the socks, that's exactly it. Do I have a pattern for the little carrot man behind me? My little carrot man, word. I don't. I just made him. I just made him. That's all. I don't know. It just the typical amigurumi increasing for like the ball, and then for the decreases, not as fast. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I felt like I needed a carrot. That's I mean, who doesn't need a carrot man in their life? I'm just saying, who does? Yeah, I don't have a pattern for it though. Sitting on top of the "You got this" sign, I think that's quite appropriate. Okay. And as far as Amy, as far as knitting something easier or harder, knitting is just that. You knit, you purl. It's up, down, left, right, back, forth, you know. It's binary. That's all there is to it. There, you just have the 2 stitches. So one's not harder or easier than the other. It's how much do you want the thing? How much are you willing to do to make the thing? And then of course there's lace, which is intentional holes, or sometimes unintentional, still causes lace. You know, so that's all there is. It's none of it is hard, and it's the same with crochet. None of it is hard. It's how much do you want the thing? Even the king, it's not hard, but that's a mental thing. That is a mental thing. Bless you. That is a mental thing. Let's see. Jumping in from a hi Susan. Hi. Thanks for jumping in. I greatly appreciate that. And Lori's going to try to work with Chef Lori's hat tomorrow. And all right. Lynanne, thank you so much for being here and being part of the channel and taking over the moderating. I greatly appreciate that. That was very helpful. And some short-term projects along with the larger projects. Yeah, that's what's definitely needed. And everyone's saying goodnight to Lynanne. Yeah, you have to have things that make you feel accomplished. Everyone works for different motivators, or you know, speaking of our little carrot man, right? You know, it's like, oh, I want that thing, you know, that's, they'll always call like the carrot and the stick. Well, we're not using a stick here, but we all have different motivators for that carrot of, well, I'm going to work on one more row. Sometimes that's the reason we use all these multiple colored yarns, is because we want to see that next thing, one more row. Never tried to make socks, but I do like hats, scarves, and dishcloths. Yeah, we've definitely done all of those types of things. First thing that my daughter did earlier, I've got to weave in the ends for because she didn't have a needle, but she made me this. And she gave the white one that she was working on to her mother-in-law and gave me the orange one with the color. And she realized while working with the white one, why I like the color, because just doing the one washcloth, it was very boring to her. She just wanted to be done with it. And at least that has the color changes. And the scarf that she's working on with this yarn right here, it starts off as purple, and then it's got that yellow in there, and then the pink and everything, all those pretty colors. So she got as much done with it because it was changing colors, and that was exciting. So find your exciting, whatever that happens to be for your crafts. Find your exciting. Earlier in the year, for me, it was the alien hats. I made 7 of them in November. 7. You know, I was having a blast, and why stop? Why stop? And I found that I got a lot more hats done, and a lot more things done because the item excited me, because I was like, let me try it in a different color. Let me make a smaller one. Let me make a bigger one. Yeah, I'm kind of geeky that way. So find your exciting and run with it. That's all there is to it. If Jennifer, if you can knit and purl, socks are not as hard as you think. No, they're not. And she's trying to conquer them, and the alien hat is so cute. That's just it. If you don't have somebody around you telling you, hey, that's hard, don't start with that, it's not hard. Where it becomes hard is in here. That's where it becomes hard, because all of it is, just like I said, knitting or purling, and you've got those 2 stitches. You know, people is like, well, I just learned to knit and I can only knit and purl a little bit. Well, no, you can do all of it. It's just how long you want to work on the thing. Now, I wouldn't necessarily suggest doing a 60-inch tablecloth as your first project, but if you want to, by all means, go for it. And the only reason I would say I wouldn't suggest it as a first project is you're not going to get that instant gratification completion done, you know, in that manner, right? So that's the only reason that I would say, you know, a smaller project, but other than that, no, that's fine. Nope. Oh, and then socks. There is a sock pattern on Ravelry, Easy Peasy Socks. It is a worsted weight pattern. It is it's a free pattern. It is fantastic for getting down the mechanics. Because it's worsted weight, you're using 7s or 8s or something like that. You're using bigger needles, worsted weight yarn. You're still doing the same cuff. You don't have anywhere near the amount of stitches. You're still turning your heel, doing your gusset. You're doing all the steps. And you're going to have a finished project, a pair of socks done quicker, and the confidence is going to go through the roof. So that is one prior to doing fingering weight yarn. I mean, you can jump in and fingering weight yarn. No one's going to stop you. But prior to doing that, getting those mechanics down with a pair of socks, perfect. Because then you understand the concept. You're like, oh, I'm doing this, but only smaller? Got it. 100%. Got it. So that's one that I would recommend. You know, Easy Peasy Socks. Yeah, definitely. That one really is. And I believe on Ravelry it's blue. You know, if you're looking through them and everything, it's a blue pair of socks. But, and they're just shorter socks because you don't have to make them long because you get the whole concept. You know, what's the difference between the shorty pair of socks and long? 4 or 5 inches of knitting. It's your choice. Yeah, Bobby, we like knitting and crocheting and playing with yarn here, so it's just all sorts of fun and creativity, dealing with all of those things. I mean, what's not to love? I mean, come on. What I like to say, and I say it online, and I really mean this in my life too, is in life, people, things, etc. can drag you down. People like to destroy. There's a lot of, whether it's the thoughts, words, deeds, something they say hurts your feelings, something they did got you upset. You know, all of those things, there's a lot of different ways that people can tear you down. When I come home, I'm the creator. Everything that I do when I yarn, I'm the creator. You're making something from pretty much nothing. You're doing it. You're taking string, you know, glorified string, calling it yarn, right? That's what it is. And you're creating something beautiful with that. And I look at it like balancing, if that makes any sense. Any negativity that may have happened during the day, no, I'm not being abused, I'm fine. But, you know, any negativity, anything else, be the person that creates something in the world. Bring something beautiful into the world. And that's what we're doing with crafts. And I think that's what I love absolute most about all of this, is just taking nothing and turning it into something. Taking something that's just mundane and turning it into, wow, you made that scarf. Wow, you did that cardigan. You made that. That wasn't the machine. You didn't buy it in a store. You did that. You took a ball of yarn and you created this. You know, started with this. Now you have something that you can be proud and wear. So that's the thing that I love the absolute most out of all of this. And it's probably why I like giving stuff away and sharing with everybody, because I want them to feel that same joy that I get to feel with all of this. And I really, you know, I hope you guys feel the same way about your craft. Otherwise, why are you doing it? Right? I mean, it's just that it's so uplifting. It's so, you know, it just makes me feel good. It just makes me feel good, whether I'm showing somebody else how to do something, having my daughter play along and work with things. Yeah, it just makes me feel good. That's all there is to it. Let's see. Sounds interesting. You're right about this. Thank you. I'm so sorry I have to go. Thank you so much, Shannon. This was fun. Thank you for being here. And Amy says, I knit socks, hats, shawls, cowls, and blankets, basically everything but sweaters. I crochet also. Sweaters intimidate me for some reason. Yeah, you know, it's funny. I've got some of my sweaters that I've worn on the channel. I made a decade plus ago. But then there was about a decade there that I, for the life of me, could not make a sweater. Every year I said, I'm gonna make a sweater. And I started them. I started a lot of them. Oh, a lot of them. Don't have them finished. I crocheted a lot throughout the year. I knit a lot throughout the year. Some of those years were years that I tracked everything on a spreadsheet, and I finished 100 objects during the year. It's not that I didn't have time. It's not that I wasn't making things. It was all up here. It was the mental up here. I couldn't break through it. I made them before. I'd make dresses for the granddaughters. Way more work involved in that than making a sweater for myself. Okay. So yeah, there was about a decade dry spell as far as sweaters, and then this last year I made quite a few. It's like the dam broke. You know, the dam broke, and a lot of sweaters finally came out. Sweaters for my husband, sweaters for the grandkids. I mean, it's like the dam just absolutely broke. But yeah, it's a mental. You're doing all the things, and when you're ready, you'll make them. And until then, don't beat yourself up. Work with the things that you love and that you love. And it sounds like you are, and I think that's just fantastic. Um, and Jessica says, I love that crochet is definitely my de-stressor after work and my free time on my days off. That's what it is for me. It's so meditative. This is for the soldiers in World War II. They would teach them, if we're in the hospital and everything after they've been injured, they teach them how to knit because it puts your brain in a meditative state, and it's great for healing. And that's kind of what we're doing. Whether we know it or not, that's what it does. It's very, very relaxing. It really is. And Oddball says, I learned to knit to make sweaters. I made a rectangle of stocking at first, then I made a sweater as my second ever knit thing. All it is you wanted it. That was it. That was the big thing, is you wanted it and you were going to make it happen. And that is amazing. You didn't let anybody come in and say, that shouldn't be your project, or that's hard, or you shouldn't do it. You just did it. You just did it. And you should just give yourself the biggest pat on the back. And that is so impressive. People who just, I have no fear, I'm going to do it. I can do it because I said I can. And you just do it. That's, wow. That is just amazing. And Linda said, you made that awesome. Yeah, I did, Linda. I did. That was a crochet dress. I did make a crochet dress out of a Barocco Comfort sock yarn. It's a fingering weight yarn, and it's acrylic, and it worked. It's like a chain type of an acrylic, and I did a C crochet hook, and I made a dress that fits me. Yep, I sure did. I think it was like 10 balls of that, but I also the red yarn. There you go. So I made the dress. The pattern was worsted weight. I did it in finger weight because I'm special like that. That takes math. Oddball says, but I'm an advanced crocheter and a Tunisian crocheter. That's wonderful. But yeah, you're right. It is very meditating. It really is. That is the best part of all crafts, is what it gives. It gives a relaxation to me. It gives me comfort when I'm not feeling good. It's funny. There are times, because we all have ups and downs. I don't talk about them because that's boring, but we all have ups and downs. And if I'm in a down mood, my husband's like, here, have some yarn. And it's funny because if I'm grumpy for some reason, right? Because, sometimes we get grumpy, and I'm like, no, I don't want it. Because, I put on the childish voice and everything, the whole 9 yards. And, just like a toddler trying to take a nap when they're tired. They don't want to take a nap. I'm not tired. It's that same situation. And he's like, honey, touch the yarn. You'll feel better. I'm like, no, I'm fine. He knows. So he'll go get it and he'll put it in my lap. He's like, you're going to touch the yarn. You're going to feel better because I'm not putting up with this. There is no reason to be upset or grumpy or whatever. Most of the time it's because of lack of sleep, but whatever, right? We know how that works. Like a child. Yep. Jennifer, yeah, I get that. You got to go to work. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for joining me on this live. I learned how to schedule the live and get back into it. That was a little scary at first because I was having problems getting back into it. I'm like, oh, I can view my live that's starting in 5 minutes. Oh, I'd like to be in my live. I want to be on the other side of the camera. Yeah. So that was a little bit of a learning curve. I mean, we're getting there. We're getting there. Did you guys see Soxy, Nana, and My Pink Bathtub? They were doing a live. They were practicing and doing a live, a cast-on party on the 1st of January. And they were on StreamYard, and they were working on that. Just trying to get the kinks out prior to the live, which makes sense. And the go live button now. So My Pink Bathtub, she had on the face mask thing going on and didn't realize that they were live. And it was hilarious. And then Diane's like, oh, we're live. And the look on her face, and then she jumped off. She has the face mask on and what have you. It was absolutely hilarious. I think it's wonderful that they left it up because we're all human and we're learning. And it couldn't have been funnier if it was planned. I mean, it wasn't planned, but I mean, it could not have been here. I did have that one in my community tab. I linked to that video because it was hilarious. And I was trying to set my live up, And I was sitting next to my husband. I said, hey, I'm trying to set up live. He said, no, 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 you get out of here. You're not going to go live inadvertently with me sitting here. Because he saw that video with me. I think we watched it twice. It was hilarious. So if you haven't seen it, go out and watch that and get a good laugh. You know, and again, I think it's fabulous that they left it up. They didn't delete it. They left it up, and they did not take themselves too seriously, because sometimes we just take ourselves so seriously, and it's just not worth it. It was hilarious. And I think personally they're going to get more viewers because of it, because that's human, right? You know, it's not the polished, it's not the production level quality. I don't have that either. But it's not all that. It's just people being people, and being willing and able to laugh at themselves in a good-natured manner. And I thought that was just hilarious. Oh yeah, just wanted to throw that out there on trying to deal with the lives. I almost had that, you know, I'm like, oh, I was like, go away, get out of here, you're not doing that to me. I don't know, but there is that. Let's see, Deborah, that was, I don't know if you saw that, but it was so funny. You have to let us know how you, oh, you'll have to let us know how you do that. Which, Lori, I'm not sure what you're asking me. Linda, you saw, did. It was too much fun. It really was. Or are you talking about setting the live and then doing it later, coming back in? Yes, I can definitely work with you on that. You know, we're all sticking together. We're all learning. We all got different things going on. How long have I been on here? I should probably go. Oh, I've been on here for a little while. Thank you, everybody, for staying with me. Yeah, Lori, I can help you with that. And Crafty Creations JLH has said, I'm working on Afghans for Project Linus soap sacks. Yeah, that you've got working on your hexie cardigans too. And I think that I just saw one of your videos with the black and the white and the gray, I think. Really nice. I made one hexie cardigan and sent that to Lori, so she has it. It's neon colors. Go figure. I would make a neon colored hexie cardigan. Yes, I did. And I combined knitting and crochet because I can. That's why. That's a fun part about learning all this stuff. So, yeah, that's a busy schedule there that you've got. That's fantastic. That really is. I'm going to have to go ahead and let everybody go. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for coming on with my live and being here as part of my channel as a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. If you haven't clicked thumbs up, click the thumbs up, because YouTube is evil. You know, and it'll make people go away, right? I just was listening to another YouTube content creator, and YouTube had just gone through and was like cleaning their rolls again and removing subscribers, and they lost 120 subscribers in like a day or so, and my subscriber count went down also, you know, so it was quite a few of us that were talking about this. YouTube does that, you know, so they'll that's why all your content creators say, hey, could you check? Because they'll just, oh, what, you're subscribed, you watch the videos every day, but they'll still unsubscribe you because that's just what YouTube does. Yeah, that's just, yep. Oh, let me make sure that I say goodbye to everybody. And Maria, thank you for being here. Jessica, thank you so much. And Lori said, I have to check regularly if I'm subscribed. Yeah, you do. It's crazy, but you really do. Linda, thank you so much. And Bobby, I'm glad that you called me too. You guys have a great evening, everybody. And come back tomorrow morning, because you know I'm going to put another video out. That's just what I've been doing, right? All right, everybody. You guys have a great day, night, and it's definitely night, right? Bye, everybody. Oh, no, that says start a poll. Oh, I can do polls? Oh, that's fun. Let's see. I should do polls. Take care, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.